Hello, and welcome to Dire Bear. It's Tuesday night, so of course that means we're playing Valley by Night, River City, our Vampire 5th Edition actual play. I'll be your storyteller for the evening, Jason. And with me as usual will be Rappy playing Iola, Duba playing Walter, Sarah playing Emma, Eric playing Kyle, and Jeremy playing Egidio. And we left off last time. What was the last thing that happened? Was it the phone call from Rat?
Yes, I do believe it was.
Yes, because Emma had tried to send him, or tried to get in touch with him. He'd called her back, and she'd filled him in on the new NOS y'all met.
And then we contacted Kincaid? No, Miles to follow the guy, and Miles hadn't been able to follow the guy. But Rat was meeting up with Miles, and Ada met up with Isles. That is her name, the mousy...
Ada, I believe so. Yes, Ada Short.
Ada Short.
Yes, because they had been meeting up and getting,
exchanging contacts.
Basically, since they're not working the same jobs, working complementary jobs. And let's see what other excitement had happened. Kyle invaded somebody else's domain, sort of. You had contacted, I believe y'all had set up an appointment with Harmony.
No.
Had you not?
Not with Harmony. No one knows Harmony except for Emma.
No,
Harmony
we set up an
is
appointment
Lutheran.
to see the...
You're right. I'm looking at the wrong name. Harmony is the... You're right. Harmony is hippie chick.
Yeah,
I believe Grace LeBlanc is the Malkave. The emissary from Wallace. And I believe y'all had set on the next night. Was when you were going to meet down there?
Yeah.
At like 11, I think.
Okay. Let's see. So what have you got on the plate? You've got the meeting at Wallace. You've got a baby Nos to take care of.
Waiting to hear back from the ministry guy if he's going to accept the emissary position with the Camrilla.
Well, specifically with Stafford's group.
Kyle's finalizing the paperwork for the house.
For his house. Probably just be another day or two. And then you had the... Oh, yes, you were trying to set up a meeting with like the gangs of the city. As well as the other barons.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, specifically August and my brain is blanking on the other one. The Ventru.
The Baron of the Molten Heights.
Yes. My brain is blanking on the name though.
Maddock.
Maddock, that's it.
So you're just going to snub the other barons, I see.
Well,
Just the other ones that are really close to the front lines.
Do the other barons have access to the waterways next to their territory?
Probably not, though. You do have a couple of the outer barons on the interstate.
Well, he doesn't know them.
That's fair.
They haven't introduced themselves.
Well, y'all are the brand new ones. You're low peoples on the totem pole. You have to go
We're barons.
You have to go do the introducing. Well, I meant as barons.
Be busy.
We're a little busy with the war.
All right. So I think the night was wrapping up.
Uh-huh.
Was there anything else on y'all's itinerary for this night?
This night, not particularly.
Okay. And I think it was getting kind of late, but
Actually, there is one thing that Kyle does want to do. He's going to call up Kincaid before the night wears on.
okay. So Tom Kincaid. All right, give him a call.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hey Tom, it's Kyle.
Hey man, what's up?
Well, as I have a good old four-legged child that likes to hang around with me now, can't exactly easily get around on my motorcycle, and as you are the vehicle guy that I know, I was wondering if you'd like to buy it.
The motorcycle?
I just get a sidecar for Pupper.
Because that probably would not survive what this motorcycle can do to it.
I might be interested. I'll swing by tomorrow night and check it out.
Alright. Thing's my pride and joy, so it's kind of like you with your car.
Yeah, but you don't have to take a dog everywhere with you.
Well, this is more of a if it comes down to it and I need to pick between one or the other, you'd probably be the only guy I'd trust to sell it to.
Yeah, you sure you want to sell it? Yeah, I'll come by and take a look at it tomorrow night. And if that is all,
Yeah, that was it.
okay.
Basically, he's probably going to be keeping the dog around since he's in that transition between places. He can't exactly keep foisting the dog off on people.
You're a baron. You can do all kinds of things.
You do what you want.
Yes, but his dog.
You just go knock on the mall door. Hey, y'all keeping him tonight. You better be okay when I come back. What are they going to do? Eat him? No, of course not. Alright. Y'all make y'all's ways back to your havens.
That, and it's also basically him also going, this is basically the rest of what I need to just pay cash up front for this house without tearing up a point of resources.
Alright, so y'all slink back to your havens. The day, of course, passes uneventfully. And when night comes, you awaken.
I'm hungrier.
I'm good.
Let me get hunger 2, which is alright.
Obi, stop, please.
Okay.
Oh, goody. Well, I get hungrier, but it's only at 2 dots, so
That's
not
not too
terrible.
I'm sure we won't have any kind of combat tonight or anything like that.
No.
I don't know.
It's
Just
too
a meeting.
hunger. I'm fine.
It'll be 2 talky episodes in a row. Don't worry.
As we get into the meeting, we get attacked. I mean, hey.
Oh, like
And
we're
the
gonna get
meeting
to the meeting.
before.
Like you'll get to the
Yeah.
meeting.
That's what I'm saying.
Somebody will get kidnapped.
Not it.
Not it. the other 3 can get kidnapped.
That's right.
Well, Kyle now has a dependent, so I have somebody to kidnap.
The dog gets kidnapped on the way to the meeting.
That is a great way to cause some chaos, that's for sure.
It's a dog catcher gone mad.
How did Kyle burn down a fourth of the city? You stole his dog.
When fucking John worked on this.
Well, the good news is that there's no longer any Camarilla in the city. But bad news is there's not a lot of anarchs either.
Not a lot of city either.
Yep.
In fact, we gotta move. Let's go.
The really old vampires here, like, man, I haven't seen the place this populated since the yellow fever came through.
Jesus.
Actual historical fact.
Mm-hmm.
At one point, Decatur and Huntsville were neck and neck. Then yellow fever showed up. All right. So y'all are waking up. Who needs to hunt?
I'm good.
I'm just at hunger too. I'm good.
Just because of paranoia of what's happening tonight, Emma is both going to hunt and prep a bug-out bag that she will leave in her trunk.
So paranoid.
We're dealing with Malkavians.
Someday I should really give you. Someday I should give you reason to be so paranoid.
I would like to present the
Someday.
evidence, Exhibit A of the last, 4 campaigns.
Exhibit A, Exhibit B, Exhibit C, going all the way to Exhibit Z.
Alright, so who else is going to hunt?
Depends. Have to pull a card first.
Oh, right, your card.
King of Wands, right side up.
Oh, that's right. You are starting. Never mind, I won't say anything. Alright, the King of Wands represents pure fire energy in its masculine form. Unlike the other Wands court cards, the King is not so interested in creation. Hang on, I had to click the thing and now it's taking me to another page. Which doesn't have the same description that the preview was giving me. Weird.
It says upright is adventure, enthusiasm, support, encouragement, and strength.
Yeah, the one I'm looking at says natural born leader, visionary, entrepreneur, and honor.
Weird.
Well, some of those things go together pretty well. So, you know, not necessarily anything particularly negative.
Yeah.
Other than that pure fire energy masculine thing. So that comes back to, is Iola going to hunt?
No, she has that extra bag that Egidio gave her the night before that she has in the stash in the fridge.
Okay. I think we were calling that secret room the speakeasy.
Yeah, the
Yep.
speakeasy.
A question.
Mhm.
Who here, other than Egidio, because we know this answer already, has Iron Gullet? I just thought about that.
Well, you don't have to have iron gullet to drink bags. The bags just don't last as long for most people.
Yes, but you do have to have it if you want to drink cold blood.
Ah.
Who says she's gonna drink it cold?
I'm not sure if microwaving it would work.
Yeah, I'm about to add. How would that work?
Microwave it.
I'm not changing my my Google history with what does microwave blood look like.
Not either. I am not either.
You said it out. You said it out loud, so your phone now knows.
Yeah, true. Facebook knows. Google and YouTube know. Oh no.
It was just one of those things I was talking about because at lunch today I decided, you know what, I'm bored. I'm gonna make a Ravnos. So I made a Ravnos. And I was reading the advantages and I saw Iron Gullet. I'm like, oh yeah, that's that thing that Egidio has that Deca gave him. I was reading through and I was like, oh, this is what you specifically need to drink cold blood. So Brain was curious.
Alright, is Walter with us?
Really nossing it up.
He is, but
I-
he is trying to avoid being stabbed.
Because I've
By
already
the
been stabbed
baby.
5 times in my calf by a cat, so unfortunately I'm not allowed to sit in a chair. But anyway, I am here.
Okay.
I will attempt to go make dice rolls when need be.
Alright, is Walter going to do any hunting?
No, he's at 2 dots of hunger. He's fine.
Okay.
Scroll. Yeah, Iron Gullet. You can feed from cold blood, rancid blood, and fractionated plasma.
Alright, so Emma was doing some hunting.
Yep. Going to do the old fake delivery.
To a house or to an apartment?
Probably apartments.
Okay. Give me a roll. Let's see.
I'm making sure nothing bad happens when I have 2 of these on black. 1 second. 2 of the crits on black.
Okay.
It only matters if it's on hunger. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Me talking while I'm muted because I forgot to check that. Yeah. As long as the crit isn't on hunger, then you're good.
7.
Okay.
And she's using the old cloud memory and all that along with it.
Okay. With 7 successes, yeah, you have no problems. You go to an apartment.
Oh, wrong
Wait.
address. Enjoy your burger.
Actually, when you knock on the door, when he opens the door, you see a second of surprise, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I ordered that." He deserves what he's getting. He was totally going to steal somebody's food.
Yeah. She doesn't need to take 2 points of blood to reduce hunger, but she might just because.
Vengeance.
It's not gonna do anything additional, but it's like, no, you lied. This is a little bit of karma. You're gonna feel a little tomorrow.
So yeah, he like snags the bag, and as he's turning around, you're kind of owning him. So he blisses out. You give him the forget I was here.
Yep.
And make your escape. No fuss, no muss, no noise. No one else will even know where you were there.
Our vampires are young enough, so my brain just put this in for Emma. These are the burgers you're looking for.
This was not the fast food.
I mean, our vampires are young enough. They get that reference.
Now she's just gonna do this whenever she does like cloud memory.
That's what I'm here for.
And that we have the Second Inquisition finds her. It's weird how many of the young vampires we catch this way.
I think
Star
they're
Wars watch
Jedis.
party gone wrong.
Second Inquisition just hosts like a midnight showing of Star Wars, and it's all young vampires.
mean, you say that, but they're doing that today and tomorrow for the 20th anniversary of Return of the King.
Oh, it's trapped.
The
Don't go.
theater's here.
Okay, I feel really old.
Yeah, me too.
Anyway,
Alright. So that's got Emma fed. Who else was it? Was anybody else going to hunt?
I'm good.
I said she also has her bug out bag and her phone.
What all is in her bug out bag?
Spare clothes, cash, no identification or anything like that.
Alright.
Her technology, she leaves at her apartment. If she has time to go back and get it, she'll get it. But it's encrypted enough to where if anyone tries to mess with it, it'll just brick itself.
Okay. Iola, were you going to hunt?
No.
Okay. Alright, so we know Emma starts off hunting. Egidio, how do you start your evening?
I actually go to check out the blood bank.
Okay, if you go there, you go in there first thing. It's they haven't closed down quite yet.
Yeah, it's the first thing I do. It seems important.
When you get there, you got a security guard standing outside.
Hello.
Good evening.
You've been briefed on me?
No, I don't believe so.
I am most likely the top donor to this blood bank, and I understand that there was a commotion a couple of days ago, and I would like to look inside.
Let me check with the doctor right quick.
Of course. Let him know Ichidio Luna is here.
Will do. He steps inside. I mean, you could follow him in. Technically, they're not closed yet, but
Sure. I'm gonna fall. I'm gonna like come in like as far as I'm allowed to.
in the
Just,
foyer.
like, in the little foyer area.
But yeah, he steps in the back, and pretty quickly, him and Dr. Klein come out.
Evening.
Mr. Luna, pleasure to see you.
Hello. I heard there was a commotion a couple of days ago.
Yes, somebody broke in one of the windows, beat up one of our staff.
Have you looked at any footage yet?
Yes, the police have been in here. And took all of that. Well, I mean, took copies of all of it. But they smashed up a bunch of stuff, destroyed a bunch of punctured and ripped up a bunch of the bags we had stored in the back.
You know why?
I have no idea.
Interesting. One of the person that was wounded, are they okay?
Yes, they had a concussion. They were knocked unconscious. They had a concussion. They were in the hospital overnight for observation, but they're back home now.
That's good.
He should be coming back to work tomorrow, I think.
That's very good. Very good to hear. All right. Do you mind just kind of having an observant look around to assess damages and stuff?
Oh, certainly. Please come with me.
I've been doing that for a bit.
Okay. And when you get back to the, I forget who was it that was who was it? One of y'all looked inside while the police were roaming around.
Egidio.
That was me.
Okay. I was thinking it was one of our stealthy guys, but I can't remember which one.
That was me. I'm the stealthy guy.
So everything looks pretty normal for the most part. When you get back to the lab area that was busted into, they've got the window replaced. There's still the like where they cleaned up the frame a little bit. There's still like a slight hint of fresh paint smell.
Yeah.
You know, floors are mopped up, and, you know, everything's looking pretty tidy.
That's good.
You know, there's maybe not as many bags in the storage as there had been.
Yeah, he'll look and just like, very good. I'm glad to see that you are all very fast acting on this.
Well, we couldn't leave the window, you know, busted up like that.
Right, of course. I'm happy to see that I have I've made a good choice in my investment here.
Oh, yes. As you can see, we've got some security for the moment.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
I mean, more than likely, it was just some vandal, but the fact that they assaulted somebody is concerning.
Yes. If you wouldn't mind, I know you gave a copy of the footage to the police. If you would mind granting me the same courtesy, before I came here, I was a forensics analyst, so I think I can do my own investigations in that regard.
Well, the police had a forensics team in here. And certainly, you know, I can certainly show you the videos at the very least.
Of course, I would be greatly appreciative.
And if you want to try to convince him to actually give you the footage, you know, you can do that later.
I just want a copy. But, you know.
So he takes you in his office. He pulls up the footage. You see something come through the window. Maybe it's through so quick.
Like a rock or something?
A rock, a brick, something. And almost before when the glass is still kind of raining down, somebody's up and over, kind of parkour style.
Suspiciously fast, or
fast, but not like
nothing superhuman.
Right.
Okay.
If you've watched people doing parkour, you know, there's not a lot of hesitation when they're making their moves.
Yep.
And you know, yeah, he hits the floor. He comes up. Your contact that, you know, been giving you blood out the back was the one working. He gets grabbed and kind of head smacked down into the middle table a couple of times.
Actually, we'll make that ooh as that shows up on the camera.
Oh yes, when I went to see him in the hospital, it was all swollen up.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
And the guy's got like a ski mask on.
Mm-hmm. Any notable what's it as he's like doing whatever? Like besides he has a ski mask on, but like any interesting mannerisms, any kind of like movements that seem maybe familiar?
Not particularly.
Okay.
I mean, he walks over, he takes out a knife, he starts cutting open bags that are on the tables. He goes and he's pulling out some of the stuff out of the refrigeration. Almost everything he's destroying, though, is bags that were marked contaminated.
Specifically my stuff.
Right.
Interesting.
Your contact has been, when you think he can get by with it, marking a few extra ones, like, you know, oh, that one came back with COVID. Nope.
Yeah.
Because nobody's looking at that as overly suspicious at the moment.
Right. Okay. And then he'll look at that and be like, interesting. Our assailant, the ski mask, moved quite dexterously.
And when he leaves, he, you know, it's the same kind of parkour. It's
Okay.
up on the middle table, springing off of that, grabbing the seal, and kind of slipping out.
Mm. Mm. Does he take like a full like push with like four limbs before he gets onto the thing?
He sort of jumps up on the table in kind of a frog crouch,
Yes, that.
and then when he springs forward, it's up, and his hands hit the window sill, and then he kind of pulls himself over that way.
Gotcha.
Very fluid.
Suspiciously fluid. But
Eh.
very well. Well, for those in the know.
But yeah, not a lot you can make out. He's in like a baggy jacket. He had gloves on. He had the ski mask.
Was there anything that happened while I'm watching the footage where something happens away from what he's doing?
I'm not sure what you're getting at.
Like someone invisibly wrecking shit.
No, you don't see anything like that.
Cool. And I think Egidio will finish looking at it and go, our assailant seems to be quite a dexterous individual.
I'd break my neck trying to do something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, never mind all the broken glass. Just the jumping about.
One wrong turning, there's your leg. Well, I have a feeling I will encounter this individual sooner than later. I have a knack for this sort of thing.
Well, the police are investigating.
I trust the police to do what is right. Well, I think that is all. Seeing the footage has really put my mind at ease. It doesn't seem like anything other than the contaminated bags were truly damaged.
Yeah, it looks like he just destroyed the ones that were closest, I suppose.
What a random outburst.
I know.
Is security staying after our individual comes back from the hospital? Is this a permanent situation?
Probably not permanent. I mean, it's expensive, so it's probably not going to be too permanent. But for the first little bit, hopefully the police will catch whoever did it.
Very well.
But for the next few weeks, we're going to have somebody here, at least while the staff is here.
That is commendable. Very well. Thank you so much for showing me.
Oh, certainly. You've been a great help to the center, so.
Do what I can.
Any brown noses you a little bit more as it walks you out.
Yeah, yep.
Gotta keep the donors happy.
Yep. Gotta keep the investment.
Even if he's some eccentric nut that thinks he's a detective in his spare time.
And then I'll go from there to the Deadman drink.
All right, Walter, when you wake up, what is your first order of business?
Well, that would be to check with the local Nosferatu, or at least check in with the little Discord. See if there's any interesting happenings going on, and what have you. He'd also take the time to forewarn the local Nos, like, hey, found a new guy. I know he's gonna be, kind of joining the school here soon, or at least hopefully being able to join the rest of you guys. Just want to give you a heads up. Someone gonna be new to the area. Just keep an eye on him.
You get a couple responses back. What's his name? Where's he from?
You know, he quickly puts in, he's like, you know, Sam, sometimes people call him Sammy. He person does not remember, but Walter would rattle off, you know, the general gist of location.
Molten.
Yeah, he'd let them know that he was from Molten, that he was in a very stressful situation, and you know had to and wanted to change and had to change locations.
That's a shame. Yeah, he hears the school in Molten can be a little stressful.
Say, yeah, that's what they said too. So you know, just keep an eye on them. You know, teach them the ropes if you can. You know, so that way they don't feel like you know they're on their own out here.
Yeah, you know. You have one guy ask you, well, you don't know if it's a guy or not, somebody, if he's found him a place to stay yet.
They respond back like, not that I'm aware of. You know, I was trying to help him when he had swung by the other day, and I unfortunately didn't really have anywhere I could at the time. So if any of you like have an idea and can shoot me a DM, I'll see if I can get in contact with him to wherever y'all have a recommendation.
Okay. And after that,
But if there's no other interesting news or whatnot, he'd wait, maybe take his time a little bit before heading to the Deadman's drink. Of course, you know, try to wait till sun's a little bit more down, not necessarily as bright as it is up here in the wonderful Huntsville, Decatur area as it is at this time of year.
Yep. Don't worry, winter will come. Your nights will start sooner and sooner.
I don't know if the talk is true. We might even not have to worry about rolling the clock around.
Yeah, they talk about that every year. It hasn't happened yet.
Oh yeah, no. I'll wait till I see it.
All right, Kyle.
Brings it up at least once a year.
Mm-hmm. How are you starting your evening? I think you're muted.
Starting the evening muted.
Load up the motorcycle and tie it down in the bed of his truck and drive the truck to the Deadman's drink.
Okay. When you get there, Zeke is there. He kind of waited as you pull up. Hey, boss.
Hey, Zeke.
I think we'll be ready to open back up probably day after tomorrow.
Good. I saw the tables out back. You've been busy.
Well, you know, something to do during the day. Luckily, the home supply places, you know, your Lowe's and whatnot, are still open. So
Well, it works.
I was able to get some stuff ordered, or you know, the tables ordered. But from the sound of things, we're gonna have to be concentrating on the drive. You know, like we had discussed, possibly doing. We'll have to concentrate on our drive-through business.
Whatever brings the money in.
Yeah, we're probably gonna take a hit, you know, going through this, but
yeah.
Now, Emma does like food delivery, right?
Yeah.
You think she'd get in trouble if she like handed out flyers when she did that?
I can ask.
Okay. I don't want to get in no trouble. I'm just, you know, thinking of cheap ways we could advertise.
Yeah. Understandable.
You know, some of our regulars know we have food, though. Now that I think about it, half the regulars that come here never eat anything.
I imagine they probably eat before they come here, and they're just here for the drink and the atmosphere or the people they're meeting with.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, so Zeke will spend another few minutes finishing up what he was doing before he heads out.
Okay.
Iola, you wake up, you check your cards, and then what is your first order of business?
See, like, what time is it right now? Like 6, 7?
Probably about 8.
8. Okay.
Because we are game wise, we're in the current time of year, so it's just now getting dark here. So.
Think probably just head to the Deadman's drink. She doesn't have much that she does.
Alright, so you're walking up about the time Zeke's leaving, probably.
Mhm.
You know, he recognizes you, he waves.
She'll probably nod at him.
Walter, you'd probably have gotten here a few minutes ago as well. Truthfully, probably everybody gets there. Emma's probably the last one to arrive. Since she had to do a little bit of hunting. So by 9 o'clock, though, y'all are probably all there. 9:30, let's say. And you have the meeting with the Wallace Barony. At, was it midnight?
11.
11.
Zeke wants to know if you can hand out flyers while you're doing food delivery.
I mean, some of my food delivery involves also catching a bite, but to the people I'm not imbibing from, I'll hand it out.
I appreciate that.
Just slip it in the bag. Could probably do like a Facebook or social media thing too. I'm sure they'll probably set up something for places that are doing, drive-through or modify food pickups. Maybe run a special for like families or something.
Pulls out his phone, texts Zeke.
Zeke, I just came up with a great idea by myself.
Actually, I worked in retail and food when I was in college, so
yeah. He basically just texts Zeke and say, "Hey, so Emma said she'd just slip it in the bags, and also had this idea." And he mentioned the Facebook idea because me being Facebook illiterate, because I don't have Facebook.
I doubt Kyle's got it either.
Yeah. So it's like, look at setting up online ordering. If you guys haven't already, it'll make it easier for people.
Ferries that message over to Zeke.
Also, give Zeke a raise.
Emma says you're getting a raise. Thank her next time you see her.
Emma's probably having to pay for the raise.
By delivering flyers. Kyle is falling into the pattern of the favor system, despite all his protests about it.
If you don't call them favors, are they truly favors?
Yes.
Alright, so y'all are all met up. What business do y'all want to get into before the meeting?
Kyle's waiting on Kincaid to show up.
Okay. Which he would do fairly quickly.
Yeah.
Before he shows up, though, you have a car. A GDO for sure. I know recognizes it. Actually, most of y'all would probably recognize it. Your ministry friend drives around in it.
Ooh, neat.
Well, mostly he rides around in it. It's usually his other. He's usually had somebody driving it. But he gets up and walks up to the door. If y'all are sitting in the front area, he waves and checks to see if the door open.
Door opens.
Hello, Barons.
Hello.
If that emissary position is still open, I would like to accept.
It is open.
Congratulations.
Excellent.
Emma will. She had the number for the NOS that contacted them, correct?
Yes. I mean, a burner phone, obviously, but
Yeah.
yes.
Do you have a number that I can pass on to them in case they need to make further arrangements?
Oh, absolutely. And he rattles off the number.
Yeah. She's like, I'll get into contact with them shortly.
I'll eagerly await their call.
Not too eagerly, I mean.
Well, it's always exciting when you start a new job.
Fair enough, first day jitters.
Yep.
Probably just step outside to call. Well, no. She's like, no, we're just sitting around killing time anyways. Dials in the number for the NOS emissary.
Okay. I know I had her name written down.
I know I tried to remember her name.
Hang on, let me get my notes. Zara Green.
Oh, that is one of the names I have here. I have got to start right behind these names, what these people are.
Zara.
Oh, yes. Is this Miss Emma?
Yes. I believe I have a candidate that we've chosen for the position we spoke of earlier.
Ah, excellent.
Would you like me to provide you their contact information? Or
That
did you
would
want to
be
arrange a
lovely.
meeting?
Uh,
I will, and she'll rattle off the number. Also, may I ask a question?
certainly.
Since the last time we spoke, several events have happened in the area. Would you happen to know anything about
Yes.
that?
I've certainly seen the news about the bar.
You can understand my displeasure.
Especially considering the conversation we had.
Yes, that it was very unfortunate. How could you put this on the phone?
I'm sure we can speak of it more in person.
My employer was very upset about it as well.
Understandably so. It's unfortunate when things happen without them knowing.
Yes.
I look forward to conversing further, but I'll let you get back to your evening. I'm sure you're very busy.
Well, I am the I actually wouldn't use the word emissary on mine, probably.
Assistant, administrative assistant.
But I will be the person keeping in contact with you, so I could come speak to you in person tonight if you needed me to.
Unfortunately, we've already have previous engagements, but we could arrange a meeting in the future.
Absolutely. You have my number. Just send me a time and a place you'd like me to show up.
Of course. And you have the contact's number. He's very eager to get started.
I will contact him once I get off the phone with you.
Thank you very much, Miss Green. And she hangs up.
And it's just a minute or two later that your ministry friend's phone rings. Oh, I need to take this.
Enjoy.
And he just goes over to the corner. It's one of the corner booths. Kind of flicks it open and you hear him start going back and forth with it.
When do we want to arrange that meeting? I mean, let's see if we survive this meeting first, but,
Yes.
Baby steps.
This is already one of 3 I'm planning, and now we're adding a 4th.
Oh, divide and conquer. We don't all have to be present for the meeting. Take notes.
Yeah. But at the
Or
very
if it's
least,
here,
I'm
you can
gonna
just...
at the very least, I'm gonna have to be present for all of them, though.
Oh, talking to her, you can always just watch the video later if we have it here.
Yeah. What kind of example would that set?
We know how to multitask and get shit done.
Either way, we have this meeting with the Malkavians and the Wallace Barony. We have this meeting to deal with where I need to emphasize very clearly that if anything like this happens again, there will be an escalation that they will not like the results of.
Then we have to work on the escalation that'll happen in the background.
Yes. Which then leads into the meeting I need to have with August and the Baron of Molten Heights, whose name already escapes me. It's been a long-ass day.
Maddox.
Maddox, thank you. We've said it so many times, I don't know why I'm forgetting it now.
It's like we've said it too many times. No, it can't be that guy.
Yeah, I guess. And then I have the meeting with August and Maddox at the very least, if not more of the Barons, if they need to get involved. And then I have the arrangements I need to make with the mass multitudes of the mortal contacts I have to deal with.
Life is hard, and so is unlife.
Yeah.
But we chose it. And so we go on.
And then you hear what sounds like a muscle car pulling up in the parking lot.
Hey, there you go. It's a distraction. Go get it, Kyle.
Yes, it is. Kincaid is pulled up. Hey, boss.
Hey, what's up? So this is her.
Yeah. I've seen you driving around on it before, but never given it a close look.
Well.
He goes over and starts looking it over.
And he'll open up the back and
It's like one hand lifts the motorcycle down.
at least 2.
And what kind of motorcycle was it?
It's it's one of those, like, how to define like a muscle car but in motorcycle terms. It's tough and fast.
Oh, okay. Heavily custom. Whatever brand it was heavily customized.
Oh yeah, this is a very heavily customized motorcycle.
So he does some oohing and ahhing, and y'all do car guy or motorcycle guy talk.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, he's into motorcycles as well. But it tells you he'd been thinking about getting one. He toyed with the idea of getting one off and on, but always winds up putting all of his money into the car.
Yeah, his truck is fairly heavily modified too, but that's built more for just being able to take an absolute shed load of punishment. Levels of modification.
Gas mileage though, in the crapper.
Yeah.
Even thought it.
I mean, it's a Ram 2500, so yeah.
So he gets around to asking you how much you want for it.
Me having to.
Well, we don't need exact numbers. It's just this is the chit chat going on.
Yeah, he. Let's see. Average it.
List off average number.
Yeah. Probably average for.
All right. Anyway, there's a little bit of haggling.
Basically.
And he tells you, he'll be by, next night with the cash. It'll take him a little while to pull the cash together. Since he assumes you don't want too much of a paper trail. But anyway, y'all come to an agreement and handshake on it. And then he tells you he's got to go get to work. So yeah, he takes off. What are the rest of y'all doing in there while Kyle is out talking cars and talking vehicles and haggling with Kincaid?
I think we're just. I think Egidio is just like I think he feels like a sense of satisfaction for having done something that has pushed towards the overall cause of the coterie, and so he's just kind of basking in that for right now.
We have a full staff.
Speaking of, while I'm thinking about this, and before I forget, again, having a full staff, what does that do, sort of stat-wise, for our coterie? Like for the Choslean and Portalon and all that. Now that we have a full staff of subordinates.
Probably nothing. I probably should have been penalizing you prior to getting this. Because, most baronies run with a full crew, so.
Fair enough.
Alright, where's it? Jeremy, do you remember the ministry guy's name?
Yes, I do.
Can you read that off to me? I know I've got a sheet here somewhere, but
Colin Rowe.
that's right. So Colin gets off the phone. Well, I seem to have a date for tonight.
Ah, very good.
I'm going to meet up with Miss Zara or Miss Green in a neutral area, and we will, go over some specifics.
Of course.
Are there any specific conditions? For example, where should she, when she comes to call on you about some business, where should she report to? Should she show up here and ask directly for you? Should she have? Do I need to give her someone else? Some other subordinate of yours?
I'll look at the rest of the coterie and be like, I think here's fine.
Probably contact us here, but before that, maybe let Miles know since he is in charge of security,
Mm-hmm.
just so he is aware of her entering the domain.
Very good then. Now, once we get this sorted, I am actually venturing forth into enemy territory. Aside from whatever the current business we might be discussing with them, is there anything else you'd like me to be doing while I'm over there, or attempting?
I think, and I'll walk up to him, like, face to face. I think as you commingle around there, of course you're not going to be in areas you don't need to be, but even in the areas you are allowed to be in, I think you can work exactly how best you work.
I think I understand what you mean, sir.
Of course.
Also, we'd like to know the general temperament of the domain you find yourself in.
Mm-hmm. Oh yes, I certainly assumed I'd be getting the lay of the land and reporting to you.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt Miss Green will be doing the same thing here.
Of course.
Better to say it and not assume that it didn't need to be said.
Fair point.
Any names you hear, of course, just pass on back. While we might not know them, there may be others that know them.
Of course. Well, I need to go get dressed then.
Good luck. Colin's about Egidio's build, or no? Maybe a little different.
Yeah, he's a little different.
Never mind then. Continue.
He strolls out to his the car where his driver is still waiting.
Alright.
And they drive
Well,
off.
that went well.
Mm-hmm. I think we have a meeting to get to as well. I'm looking at the clock to see what time it is.
It's getting about time y'all need to be getting ready and kind of mosey in that way.
I think so too. In the trunk.
Would all of you fit in the truck? Well, yeah, because
In that truck, yes.
that's a fair point.
It's a big truck.
Yep.
The big truck. It's an armored truck.
Yeah. Yeah,
Which
no,
Philo
that's...
can ride in the back.
Uh-huh.
Things capable of taking small arms fire levels of armored.
Yep.
Will it be stopping an AR-15? No, but
Let's just hope it doesn't come to that. Let's just...
someone's taking pot shots with a handgun, then yes.
It's not like anybody in the city has got a rocket launcher or rocket prepared grenade or anything.
Yes, indeed.
At least I know what I'm doing with it.
Do you?
Yes.
Do you really?
Are you sure about that?
The 3 dots in firearm says yes.
That's fair.
Yeah, 3 dots is a decent bit, I guess.
Or 2 dots, sorry.
But is that a firearm or is that a heavy weapon?
Is there a
Well,
heavy
there isn't a
weapon?
heavy weapon skill.
I don't think
so...
there. I don't think there is a vampire. No. In werewolf, there might need to be, or hunter. All right.
Hunter, probably, but
So the Wallace Center is, I think it's this one here. It's either there or there. I should have got a map that was more zoomed in. But it is down to the it is down to the south end of the city, over to the one side of Highway 31. Like I said, like I mentioned before, I don't think it's actually called the Wallace Center anymore, but everybody in Decatur would probably still know it as that.
yeah.
Probably mention that before they leave. They should let Kincaid and Miles would probably already know, just in case anyone tries to try anything squirrely while they're gone, just to keep a little extra guard up.
Yeah, Kyle would have informed Kincaid about the meeting before Kincaid left after they were talking shop with the bike.
Okay. Alright. So y'all head down. Y'all pull into the Wallace Center. You'd been told
About Hartselle.
sometimes kindred go in and they don't come out.
Oh yeah, they told me about. They mentioned that to Egidio because he went out there to do that autopsy.
Oh yeah, that's right. And they're like, "You came back?"
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Think of it like Bermuda Triangle sort of story. There's not everybody that passes through there that disappears.
Mm-hmm.
But it's enough to be concerning. It's enough that people that can't avoid going through there avoid going through there.
Yeah. Well, south of here is Hartselle, and there's enough rumors going around that occasionally kindred that go to Hartselle just don't come back.
Fantastic. We have to run. We don't run there.
It's basically the Bermuda Triangle of the area when it comes to kindred.
Got it. Werewolves.
What?
Werewolves, probably, or something. Who knows? Bigfoot, aliens, UFOs.
Those were a thing?
Probably.
You don't believe in that, but ghosts, us, werewolves. Your line is aliens.
My line is I was attacked and left for dead behind a mall. I've had to figure all this shit out on my own as I go.
All I'm saying is like open mind and all of that.
Mine
Iola?
was pretty open by the time he was done with me.
Iola? As they were discussing this, whatever it is, in Hartselle, your mind drifts back to the card you drew tonight. The whole King of Wands being fiery energy and masculine. That whole thing.
Yeah.
No particular reason, your mind's just wandering, while they're doing all the talking. As you pull up... Oh, go ahead.
What was it talking again about? What about the Malkavians? Because we're going to go see them now, right?
Right.
This is what the meeting is.
As they're pulling in, though, they saw 3 people gazing to the south. Emma had asked what was to the south. And there was this whole discussion about kindred disappearing in Hartselle.
Mm,
And they don't really know what's down there.
gotcha.
So as you pull up to the building in the back, Grace is waiting out there for you.
What was her last name again?
LeBlanc.
Emma's looking around, like, waiting for somebody else to take lead, because please don't make her be lead Malkavian area.
As you pull up, Grace sort of waves at you. So it glances nervously to the south and then back at you.
That's 4 of you now.
Do you say that as you're getting out of the vehicle?
Yep.
4 of me? What? There's only 1 of me.
No, I'm pretty sure I see 4.
Have you been feeding off druggies?
No, I have not.
Okay. I knew someone once that liked to feed the kind mushrooms and then feed off of them. I figure my mental state's altered enough. I don't need to go out of my way to try to alter it.
Yeah, he'll pat her on the shoulder. It's like, just keep the other 3 of you in check. Why don't you?
Is there grave concern about the South in Hartselle?
It's I'm sure it's fine.
I'm fine.
That sounds very confident.
It's just nerve wracking on nights like tonight.
Nights like tonight?
Nights when it hunts.
It?
Well, we're not certain what it is, but some nights we can. Some nights it's angry and it's hunting and we can feel that. But don't worry, it's never come north in Decatur. And don't worry, we have people that keep an eye out.
Inwardly, Emma's smoking like 12 cigarettes all at once. Of course, not on nights like tonight. I'm sure it'll stay south.
Question. Would Iola kind of sense what the other Malkavians are sensing with it hunting?
And it's not that necessarily every Malkavian perks up to this, but enough to. All right, what gifts does Iola have?
Not a lot. Being young and all.
Yep.
Got premonition. Sense the unseen, compel, cloud memory, and catch grace.
Which ones was it in all specs again?
All specs is sense the unseen and premonition. Well, with the way they're acting, she would have activated sense the unseen.
Okay. With sense the unseen activated, there's this faint light emanating from the south.
Faint light.
Yeah, like you. If you've been using your ability when you pulled up, you might not have even really noticed it as being something unusual.
Mm-hmm.
But standing here, having not seen it, and then turning on that ability, and it's there. Yeah, there's definitely something going on to the south.
Well, then Iola will also be looking at the south, at the light.
All right, now y'all's Malkavian is doing the same thing that the ones out by the road were doing.
Oh, there's 4 of them now.
Five.
You're muted.
Who
I
is-
muted myself. Okay. It's like 5, whatever. One of you just grab her by the shirt and let's go.
I'll look at Iola and look over there. And just kind of like. Also activate Sense the Unseen?
You also see the faint glow.
Huh. Alright. And then he pulls Iola.
So whatever it is not just a figment of their imagination.
Yeah.
Unless they're affecting you in some way.
Come on, Iola. We've got a meeting.
Grace is nodding. Oh, don't worry, we have people watching. And like I said, whatever it is, it's never come north.
I think Egidio makes a point to look over there and go, huh, I see. Literally.
Heightened senses. Does that catch anything?
No, that just makes your normal senses.
Figured she'd see if maybe there's an ultrasonic humming or something.
No, it's just a bright light. Oh, not bright, but a light that just kind of like, wait, what's that? Type deal.
Maybe we should go investigate. Be drawn to it like a moth to the flame.
Never
Maybe
to be
that's
seen
what
again.
she'll do while I'm gone for the next month in May.
Actually, what is Iola's They used to call it derangements. I don't know what they call it now. Clan weakness.
I didn't put the bane. I half filled this out. I gotta update.
Oh, for shame, for shame.
Awesome.
Oh yeah, you need your bane, you need your touchstone.
Yeah. When the Malkavian suffers a bestial failure or a compulsion, their curse comes to the fore. Suffer a penalty equal to your character's bane severity to one category of dice pools, physical, social, or mental, for the entire scene. This is in addition to any penalties incurred by the compulsion. So,
Oh man, we've got like
Yeah, it keeps disconnecting, reconnecting, and making new
and like
videos.
OBS here isn't even aware that it's disconnected yet, apparently, or Streamlabs, because I've still got the end stream button, not the reconnect or any of that.
Oh, yeah, it's back now, but it went to hibernating, and then it did a commercial, and then it came back.
Okay, so we are live now.
I don't know what end it's on, but it's done it 2 or 3 times.
That is unfortunate.
I'm gonna have to combine all of them later and make one video.
So we got one from an hour ago, one from 25 minutes ago, one from 11 minutes ago, and one from 1 minute ago.
Yep.
Oh well. All right, so
Sort it out later.
let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and hit start record on this, so I'll, at least from here on out, I'll for sure have a copy of the full thing. All right, so Grace is trying to herd y'all into the building. As you get in there, there's a another fellow. I keep running across names that I already have. She introduces you to Davian. Davian Crane.
Davian Crane.
Davian Crane.
Davian Crane.
He shakes hands. Tells you he's very pleased to meet you. He is Mr. Cologne's right-hand man, I suppose you could say. He also keeps up with visitors to the domain, make sure everyone's kind of where they're supposed to be. Everyone's comings and goings.
Ah, so you were Mr. Wallace or Mr. Cologne's census taker.
We use the term personal assistant, but yes, essentially. To put it in the more generic terms that the other baronies use.
Comparing and contrasting to our own recently staffed barony.
Either way, it's a pleasure to meet you, sir.
Yes.
Yes, I'm very pleased to meet you. Talk around town has been full of your exploits.
Fully good.
But please come with me. Mr. Cologne is looking forward to meeting you. And he's having a pretty good night tonight. Well, other than that unpleasantness of the south.
Well, and Judy will leave that hanging in the air as he follows.
Whatever it is, stay to the south.
Weird glow.
Well, according to Sebastian, it's never come north in the entire time that he's been here in Decatur. Well, I suppose it's the first time for anything.
It's been here as long as he has.
Oh, at least. He takes you back into a large meeting room. White tile floor. That typical kind of white paneled ceiling that you'd see at a hospital or a nursing home or something like that. Looks like a room that could almost be a small cafeteria or maybe one of those meeting rooms with a circle of chairs where you're doing like group therapy kind of thing. But they've got, there's a rug down on top of the tile. There's some nice couches. The furnishings are almost like someone's personal study or something. When they walk in, Kyle, you probably know what Sebastian looks like, having lived in Decatur for a while. You may never have spoken to him, but you recognize him on sight. When y'all walk in, he's reading a book. He closes it and sets it down. The variants of the Deadman's drink.
Mr. Cologne.
Very pleased to meet you all. Kyle, I've been aware of for some time.
He's aware of Egidio.
Do what now?
He's aware of Egidio.
Is he?
He's one of my links.
Oh, okay. So he must have spoken to you when you first got to town.
Yes.
Was he the one that suggested that you head up to that area?
He is the one that suggested that I might have a hand in anarch politics at some point.
Okay. Mr. Luna.
Mr. Golan.
Very nice to see you again. I see I was right.
I guess so.
Let's see, is Walter... Well, I suppose Walter would be visible because it'd be kind of rude not to be.
Kind of a faux pas.
I mean, also, it's a nest of malks, so somebody's probably going to see him regardless. But I don't believe I know these two. He walks forward and kind of, offers his hand to Emma.
Screaming internally.
Emma, Kill Bill sirens, foghorn, screaming internally, just shakes his hand. Emma, Mr. Cologne.
Oh, lovely name. Have you been in the city long?
Not especially so. Maybe a year at most.
And then he turns towards Iola. And you would be?
Iola.
Pleasure to meet you. How long have you been in the city?
Almost a year.
Oh, did you and Emma arrive together?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm always interested in how coteries, if you don't mind me using a perhaps out of date phrase for it, how they meet up and bind together.
They all started coming to my bar.
In that part of the city, your bar is a popular place to
Reconnoiter.
I'm thinking a polite way to say meet up with Kine.
It's next to a blood bank. Suits my needs.
There has been some talk of how that resource could be used to benefit the entire city.
I am a philanthropist.
I notice some people in the city are having a harder time sustaining themselves than usual. I hope you've had no difficulties.
No more than normal.
I've heard about the unpleasantness recently.
You're going to have to be a little more specific, sir.
That's fair. The unpleasantness that was in response to the unpleasantness that you caused in the Aldi's parking lot.
That was caused because we tried to adhere to the masquerade, which is usually a thing that those people are, want to enforce.
I'm sure they were taking care of the masquerade. They were just using an opportunity to set a trap.
I get the sense that it had already been taken care of before we got there.
Though from what I hear, their trap bit them and not you.
Yeah, well.
When you try to trap a rabbit and you get a wolf instead.
I can't say that's ever happened to me, but it would be unpleasant for sure. Also in the room, there's another fellow sitting over to one side, kind of nervously fidgeting. He rocks a little bit. Where you've seen another person or two as you were walking back to the meeting room, going about their business, but occasionally glancing to the south. While he seems stressed out, he's not fixated like that. He's kind of intently studying you, each of you, one at a time.
I think I'll break this obvious break in speech and be like, weird lights in the north or south, rather.
Yes. I don't know how attuned to such things you are, but it happens periodically. It's not all the time, though. If you get close enough, there's some sort of presence or power in Hartselle all the time.
I've been to Hartselle.
Have you now?
Yeah.
He reaches over, not the book he was reading, but like a notepad, picks it up. Would you happen to remember with the date?
I'll rattle off the date.
Interesting.
I was performing it. I was completing the autopsy of the unfortunate ghoul who passed away from the hospital.
Oh yes, the one that was stashed in Mr. Adams' bar.
Yes. Just making sure there wasn't any foul play.
He kind of looks up at you. From what I understand, that is exactly what happened.
Yeah, it is. But we didn't do anything about it. Or we didn't do anything to that individual.
Did anything odd happen to you while you were in Hartselle?
Not to my knowledge. Just kind security and kind individuals doing the work over there. And then I finished up and left.
You were not harassed in any way. You were not overly tense. You did not feel that the eyes of mysterious strangers were upon you.
I am quite good at staying hidden. have lived in war zones in my day, so learning to get away from it is key.
No, good point. Good point. Let's see. When was the last time that it hunted? Yes, you were there during one of the calmer weeks. Not that is a guarantee of safety. I can show you a list of disappearances, but anyway.
As interesting as this is, I believe we have a meeting. Yes.
Ah, yes. Down to the more current business, I suppose. Yes, I wanted the opportunity to meet you all. I was not feeling well the night of the concert at the Princess. Though some of my people went in my stead. It's a shame, too. I'd been looking forward to it. Both for the opportunity to meet all of you and of course, any of her performances. I'm blanking on her name. Oh, well.
You missed us performing together then.
Someone told me you were something of a guitar player. They were quite pleased with your performance.
Well, it helps keep things quiet.
I'm under the impression that your domain is going to be very important in the coming year. I wish I had something more specific that I could tell you. But I felt I'd put off meeting with you long enough. And poor Rory over here, and he gestures to the fidgeting guy, has been very upset.
For what?
Rory, would you like to tell them? Rory kind of clears his throat, the devil is coming from the west.
Not the south?
No, I don't know what it is in the south, but I know it's the devil coming from the west.
What does the devil look like?
He's male.
Okay.
In my visions, he's wreathed in fire, but I'm pretty sure that's just symbolic. I don't think it's somebody that's actually on fire.
May need to leave if he's coming.
It will take a. You'll need the old alliance. You'll need an old alliance to defeat him. But the old alliance is all divided now.
Between who?
What?
You said old alliance.
Yes.
Between whom?
People that have fought this devil before.
Is the devil currently walking around? Have we met the devil, or are they in hiding at this time?
I'm not certain if he's in the city yet, or if he's just on his way.
Just wanted to run a bar. Okay.
Whiskey is the devil's drink.
Yeah, we're all going to hell in a handbasket, I'm aware.
Well, of course we are. We're the unliving damned. Perhaps if we all walked out into the sun, we could. Perhaps we'd be shown mercy in the hereafter.
Not likely.
And he starts kind of just going down a rambling path about how we would all probably be better off greeting the sun. Sebastian kind of makes a motion, and David and Grace kind of go over and kind of try to calm him down and get him kind of out of the room. I do apologize. His visions plague him. Sometimes his mind goes to grim, morose places.
Happens to
I like
even
him.
the sunniest of people.
Big question.
It happens to even the sunniest of people.
Cologne pauses for a second, like he's trying to figure out if you made a play on words there.
She didn't consciously, but if he pauses, I apologize. It may have been a bit too on the nose to the most positive of people.
Yes. Despite his eccentricities, it's always wise to pay attention when he speaks of his visions. Unfortunately, they are very rarely clear. Always metaphors and symbolism. And he has trouble sorting them out sometimes. But it was something I wanted to bring to your attention.
Nothing else that bears consideration and attention.
We have not been able to sort out exactly what he might be referring to as the devil, of course.
Just that they drink whiskey.
I don't believe that was part of the vision per se. He's gone on anti-alcohol rants before. Apparently, his mother was quite big in the temperance movement back in the day.
Has anything of note happened to the west of here during your time here, or even perhaps his time here? It could tie back to a past, since he mentioned broken alliances.
I have puzzled about that, but to the west of here, there is really nothing until you get to Moulton, as far as kindred society is concerned.
We did just have someone from Moulton.
Did you now?
Yeah.
If you'll excuse me for a moment, I'm going to pass this information on to some of our members in security and see if they can make contact with that individual.
Oh, of course, of course.
Gives a respectful head nod. She'll go just kind of step out and call Miles and Kincaid and pass on to try and find that dang nos.
You mean the Sammy guy from last night?
Yes, please.
Okay,
Contact Rat if need be and see if he's found any. Had contact with him. This is a very quick conversation. I'm going back now. This is kind of rude to the guy who invited us by.
as you're hanging up here, Kincaid mutter, "Oh, great, we have to go find a nos. That won't take all night."
Get somebody with sense of unseen. Take Ada or something.
Or any of the Malkavians?
Nah. Too hard.
Nah, the Bruels just walk around punching the air until they hit something.
The only Malkavian she knows is currently in the meeting with them, so.
You'll have to ask Ada how many Malkavians you have in the domain.
She'll do that. Maybe put them up with the people in security. But she pokes her head back in.
While Emma's out there, Clone goes on. Now, I also wanted to speak to you about our ongoing war. While some people are wanting to blame you for the sudden escalation, that was inevitable.
It's like they don't know how us gangrel work when the pack is threatened.
I would say they certainly know now. But also, people were becoming, over the last few months, were beginning to become a little, what's the word I'm looking for? Not
comfortable, complacent.
Complacent, thank you. While we all like to beat our chests and talk about overthrowing the Camarilla, some people would be perfectly content if things went back to how they used to be. And they sort of got a taste of that over the last few months. Of the Camarilla being sort of what it is, but us being just sort of left alone. They forget the most important rule or truth about a revolution. You can't have a revolution without a revolution. It'd be nice to be able to do such things peacefully, but that's not how these things work. Not in kind society, and certainly not in kindred society.
So in other words, they got used to being very peacefully going, hey, screw the man, and then someone actually went and flipped the man the double bird.
And now they're mad.
Yes. If by flip them the double bird you mean behead the head of the Camarilla, then yes, absolutely.
I did what?
Not you. He was referring to Theo Bale and the big thing that actually split the Camarilla and the anarchs. Now, Matic is annoyed because he was using the quiet time to build up resources. And
August seemed quite pleased.
August is quite enthusiastic. Matic is dedicated, but more strategic, perhaps, in some ways.
So he'll like the plans in motion.
Oh?
One baron to another. It's something I'm going to be talking with Matic and August, since their domains run up against the river. I mean, if you and yours feel like assisting in the matter, that would be nice.
Well, depending on what the matter is.
Economically and logistically bleeding the cam dry.
Easier said than done, but sounds like a good strategy.
Then, when there's a little bit of unrest, of people being a bit more about things, locate targets of interest, and just point the brouhaha at them.
That will definitely escalate things, but that's inevitable.
Right now, my main goal is to keep incendiary ammunition and other incendiary armaments out of Cam hands.
Put a stranglehold on their black market.
And consolidate those resources in our own. So when things escalate, we have a little bit more of an edge.
I would appreciate an invitation to this meeting. I feel like it'd be useful as we essentially guard the southern access to the city via the highway. After all, the waterfront is not the only place they could be bringing the things in.
Yes. I will admit that was my first thought. However, given how many things can be brought in via.
Oh yes, you definitely want to fortify the waterfront. And between the two of them, Maddock and August control most of that. You might also speak to the Eastern Outer Barons.
I don't know how to get in contact with them, otherwise I would.
Oh, I could contact them for you.
I'd appreciate that.
In fact, if you leave contact information with me, I'll pass it on to them.
He'll write down his. This is an important line burner phone number,
But
and he'll hand that to Sebastian.
Excellent.
The other thing is, I'll probably end up being reactivating my old influence and contacts within the black market myself.
Mm-hmm.
You've been here long enough, you probably know the stories I carved out for myself there when I was still mortal.
Yes, you were quite involved with the gang culture in the city.
Plan on leveraging that to see if we can identify any of those that are influenced by Camarilla contacts. See if we can't isolate or slowly unentwine them.
Very good.
There's one thing I learned when I was still waging wars as a mortal is no matter how well armed you are, how strong you are, what forces you bring to bear, no war can truly last without logistics. If you run out,
Many battles have been lost due to cut supply lines.
Oh,
we lost Rappy.
What?
Rappy disconnected.
I'm still seeing her.
From the Discord chat.
Oh.
Yeah.
This is just the night for our services to be.
Yeah, I don't know what's up.
Of course, it's our game. Looks like they know.
Yeah.
Yep. I was trying to find.
Please hold as a Malkavian reconnects.
I didn't realize it disconnected me. I was like, I wonder, everybody was talking, then it got really, really quiet.
Yep. But that's the plan for right now. Cut supply lines, weaken their hold in those northern sections of the city around Highway 31, and then drive them out.
There's obviously more specifics to go over, but that sounds like a very good start. I'm sure August will be right behind.
They tried to firebomb my bar. They're gonna find out what happens when I stop fighting offensively, like I have been since this started.
Excellent. Perhaps your charge will be what reinvigorates the revolutionary spirit of the anarchs of this city.
I'm already working with some of the movers within my own domain. So, we'll see.
About this time, you hear a little commotion coming from somewhere else in the building. Grace comes back in. Sir, the test subject is here. If you were trying to say something, Sarah, you're muted.
No, just me to myself. Test subject?
It's like, oh, very good. He sees the look on Emma's face and is like, don't be alarmed. We unearthed a Camarilla, I hesitate to say spy, scout, perhaps. And we're going to give him an opportunity to survive the night. We're going to put him in a car, and he's going to drive. And as long as he drives south, we will not harass him.
Basically sending him to the kindred equivalent of the Bermuda Triangle.
Want to see what happens.
Interesting.
Have you considered installing a tracker in the vehicle?
No, but I believe someone was setting up a camera or a
dash cam or something similar, I assume.
yes, something like that. Body cam. I forget what they said. I'm not quite up on all the technology. What was that?
So you're declassing him.
Cologne doesn't look like he doesn't know what you're talking about.
I forget, not everybody likes to read the SCP Foundation wiki like I do.
I am unfamiliar with this foundation.
Might want to look into it, it's interesting. All kinds of interesting, nifty things like gods and demons. And...
Going to give them another bit.
It's a good read. Like the giant lizard that can't ever die, no matter what you throw at it.
Fictional information, but entertaining nonetheless. But
I see.
Kyle internally, let me have my fun messing with the Malks, damn it.
Emma, like, please don't mess with the mouth too much. We need to walk out of here. Have you had any other test subjects that you sent south, or is this the first?
He's not the first. It's not something we do often, though. I mean, you only catch spies every so often. We're certainly not sending any anarchs down there in this manner.
Of course not.
And, if he makes it through, well, then,
Is he instructed to return should he make it through, or how are you retrieving the data? Or is it streamed to a device?
I forget exactly how they said it works, but yes, it's being broadcast directly to a device of ours. Not through the World Wide Web, though.
Secure yes, of course.
They said it's encoded, encrypted. Can't be too careful with the Second Inquisition.
Of course.
You could you could come watch with us.
Sure. I'll watch.
I did have a
Got
question
a
I needed to
fascination with these kinds of things. Continue, sorry.
ask. Yeah, I was like, there is a question I needed to ask you anyway, considering some notes.
Oh, certainly.
The Primogen of the Nosferatu here. What do you know about him?
Stafford?
Yes.
Old Ford's been here quite some time. He was... he'd been here perhaps 20 years when I came to the city. Been Primogen most of that time. Most of the time that I've been here, I should say.
So a very old name.
Yes. My understanding is he very badly wants to be prince. I mean, that could be said for a lot of people. But...
Did he have any bad blood with Woodard? Or Bruja in particular?
The Bruja in particular, no, not until this most recent schism between, not until the Bruja left the Camarilla. As far as the Bruja, Woodard, mostly he was amused when her little rebellion failed, or her little coup d'état.
He was just sending that up there to cause trouble.
Beg your pardon?
There was an incident where members of the Camarilla were sent into the domain to disrupt a gathering in a rather explosive manner that was prevented. I just wanted to know if he perhaps had any ill will, more than usual, towards Bruja or Woodard.
Not to my knowledge. He is Camarilla through and through, so
Just stirring the pot.
So
Quite
that will
possibly.
be dealt with at some point.
What does that even mean nowadays?
the
Which
pot
part?
stays fairly stirred.
And more meant, what does being through and through X faction or Y faction?
In this city, it means everything.
Whether you die or not.
Where do your loyalties lie, Mr. Luna?
Clearly, I'm a Baron. Just curious as to if people can't be swayed one way or the other.
Most of us chose our sides long ago.
That's fair. Older folk, I imagine, are stuck in the way they are. No offense.
None taken. It is a truth of our people. You can even say it in a kind, to some degree.
Mm-hmm.
But if you would like, we're going to make a little drive down south. Not all the way to Hartselle, don't worry. Whatever it is appears to be constrained by the actual city limits.
How interesting.
It is interesting.
Has anyone checked the wards or anything of a similar manner, perhaps?
Well, I don't have a lot of contact with Tremere. They're kind of who you would need for some of that.
I know an individual who's probably going to get a lot of business at this point. If you want to explore that through line.
I had bad experience with Tremere.
That's fair.
On the other hand, you need a specialist for a specialized job. I shall consider it, Mr. Luna.
Okay.
If nothing else, they wouldn't have to know that you were involved.
I suppose if you are certain that this Tremere is it has anarch leanings.
As far as I know, he is in our domain, so
That says nothing.
I would be very careful. But-
and all that.
With the fall of the pyramid, there are many Tremere that have tried to go off on their own. And what is this fellow's name?
Solo.
So a Tremere that has gone off on his own, named Solo.
Points for creativity, I suppose.
Or is it simply fate? Or was that his name before and this is simply fate?
Would not know. Try not to look into the metaphysical super often.
Or we're about
Spiritual's
to dive
already right
headfirst
there.
into it.
Oh, this thing is whatever this thing hunting is definitely corporeal in nature.
How do you know?
Call it a hunch.
Well, let's go see, shall we?
Of course.
I assume we're following his vehicle. Or are we all piling into like the Malkavian minivan?
The Malkmobile.
Like the mystery machine.
Do you have a place I can leave my motorcycle?
Oh, we took. Oh, you're leaving disconnecting from the truck?
Well, if he needs to go off-roading in this thing, he doesn't want that bouncing around in the back.
I would have assumed he left it back at the bar.
If you ask Cologne that, he'll, oh yes, certainly, just any parking place will be fine. My people will make sure it's not messed with.
Can't help.
So y'all load up, y'all follow him down. You travel out of the city. Over a little bridge, down a couple of up and down a couple of hills.
Oh, there's grandmother's house.
No, seriously, the road between Decatur and Hartselle. Anyway. You pull down, and at the foot of this hill, there is a Conoco gas station. Everybody pulls in there. One of the Malks walks in and talks to the person working in the gas station,
Hawks.
who wanders into the back. He's like, don't worry, we've used this place several times.
Kyle just goes over to the register, types in what is effectively free gas for him, and he fills up his truck.
I respect it. Gas prices are annoying.
Even now.
Cologne just sort of rolls his eyes.
Emma will put the cash down into the till and just kind of side eye, like, come on.
He goes, I suppose he wouldn't notice. But the security, their camera should be turned off at the moment.
There'll be a gallon discrepancy, I'm sure, so this should cover it.
But so they take one of the vehicles. They have a kindred chained up.
Does he look familiar at all?
No, you don't recognize him.
Okay. Kyle's over there just as he's filling up the gas.
Sebastian tells you, yes, we caught him nosing around, not in our domain proper, but just outside of it. And the guy seems pretty surprised that they're letting him go and like giving him a car.
Should be your first clue, buddy.
When they tell him about the driving south and he realizes where he's at, he brings up the Hartselle. You know, the stories about Hartselle. He doesn't sound like somebody that believes them, though. And for something he said, you realize that he's actually originally from Madison. Which is also, I believe, where the recent Tremere that is coming into town on the Cam side was from. Or was he from? Don't quote me on that. I'll have to go back and double check.
What direction is Madison from their location?
Madison City is right next to Huntsville.
Yeah, I think it's west.
Okay.
Of Huntsville.
West of Huntsville, yes. It's still north and east from Decatur, though.
Okay.
Love how it's like, what direction is it from Huntsville? West and north, technically, because Huntsville is just a giant spider web of a city.
That is which is slowly encircling Madison City.
Yeah, it is actually, which is hilarious to me.
That sounds like San Antonio.
Till eventually, you just in the distance hear om nom nom, and then Madison disappears.
Decatur's done that to a few of the smaller communities.
Yep.
In fact, where y'all are sitting at now at the Conoco, just past the Conoco is the Decatur city limit. A handful of yards past that is the Hartselle city limit. Decatur city limit literally just snakes down the highway. That Conoco was literally put there because it was technically in Decatur, so it could sell alcohol to everybody in Hartselle when Hartselle was dry.
Yep, that sounds about right.
I'd be working at Kroger, and back when I first started nights, and every now and then I'd see one guy walk by my aisle, down to the supervisor. I was like, "Yep, it's time for a beer run," and they'd run down just before 2:00 when this place closed to load up for the next day.
Amazing.
Yep.
Modern problems require modern solutions.
Yep. Hartselle went wet a while back, but the Conoco's still there, so apparently they've weathered the hit. But anyway, so you see one of the monks has got the looks like a tablet with like a larger antenna attached to it, sort of thing. There is it's a dash cam. It's got sound. It's looking out the front window. The fella drives. He goes up that little hill, over the hill. And I mean, just barely physically out of sight from you. When in the video, there's like a flash back behind the camera. You know, the glare on the windshield. You hear the Kindred driving scream or yell out in surprise. And then there's a kind of rushing, whooshing noise, and the camera goes dead.
Nice.
You're pretty sure you heard that Kindred starting to actually scream about that same time. But...
Well, if Emma has heightened senses up, she'd probably hear it actually.
Yeah, she probably would have thrown them on.
And most of you can hear the car crash. Emma in particular, sounds like it veered off the road, probably into a pole, one of the telephone poles or something. But there's also the sound of like the gas catching on fire. It doesn't go up in a big Hollywood-style explosion, but the car is clearly burning. But you think you heard the whoosh and the fiery sounds before it hit.
Oh, interesting.
Cologne nods. It's interesting, but not as informative as I'd hoped. whatever it was seemed to come from behind him. Well, behind the camera at least.
Almost like it knows it was being watched.
Perhaps, or perhaps it was simply chasing the car. This was not as useful as I'd hoped.
Perhaps in the future, if the experiment's repeated, cameras at all angles.
Dash cams aren't that expensive.
Oh yes, the cost is not the issue. We so seldom get test subjects, though. I suppose if we truly go to war with the Camarilla, we can find a few more. I wonder if it would get the same reaction from a ghoul. I will. Well, sorry for dragging you down here for all that. Apparently it was not as informative as I had hoped. We should probably leave before the police arrive. There are enough houses around here, someone's bound to have heard it.
Perhaps.
Quick question.
Mhm.
Given this is a long shot, so feel free to shoot it down. Given the Gangrel's connection to the more primal side of the supernatural, is there anything that's twinging Kyle's sort of beast at all, or just nothing he'd notice?
If anything, only that sound of that fire.
Okay.
And that's more of just kind of a shudder down your back sort of feeling.
Alright, yeah, like I said, probably a long shot, but I figured I'd ask.
So y'all load back up. Emma, with your heightened senses, you hear police sirens.
Yeah, she'll pass it on. Oh, they're already on their way. That's a really fast response time.
More responsive here than they are over by Kyle's area.
Well, Hartselle doesn't get cars on fire that often. I have literally seen 3 police officers pull up. I mean, just burning rubber to get there because the alarm at the chicken place went off.
The jokes write themselves.
Well, slow night, and so often they get there after everything's done. So it was just an employee that set it off by accident. But one of the guys, we were on break out front of this at the store I work at, and one of the officers came whipping through our parking lot. Taking a sharp turn basically in front of where we were sitting, to the point that we were wondering, is he going to make that turn, or is he going to roll over? His superior officer came up and was apologizing later. It was kind of funny. Been years and years ago. Anyway. But y'all get back to town. As you pull back in, you get messages. You get a couple of texts from one from Kincaid, one from Miles, even one from Ada.
Okay.
That's concerning.
Are they all saying the same thing?
Let's see. Kincaid just says, "Hey, some shit went down. You might want to head back." Miles, his comes specifically to Kyle. Well, that's not fair because y'all have him in the group chat. So it comes into the group chat. We've had an unfortunate event.
Here we go again.
Ada's message just says -1.
Oh no, that's never good.
What does Miles say?
It's something unfortunate that happened. Y'all might want to head back.
That was.
Oh.
Wait, I thought that was.
That was
Kincaid.
Kincaid's.
Kincaid's was some shit went down. Y'all might want to head back.
Oh, okay.
Basically, you got very similar messages from them.
Gotcha. Yeah, he'll stop by, grab his bike, put it back in. I was like, well, Sebastian, it's been nice, but apparently,
Let's
not
go.
since
Come
it
on.
happened. Bye.
Oh.
Nice seeing you, Sebastian. Onward.
It was pleasant meeting you all. I look forward to discussing your plans with the other you and the other barons.
If he doesn't get you the information about the meeting, I'll make sure to get it to you.
The disturbed fellow. What did I say his name was? Davian?
You think Davian Crane? No, that was the.
No, that was the right hand man. Rory. He come. As Sebastian's walking to the building, he's coming out of the building,
Am I turning around?
screaming about El Diablo.
You hear a tirade of Spanish from Egidio, like, motherfuckers using my language to say that shit.
Let's
Am I just like
go.
3 words.
As Sebastian kind of starts hauling you back in, you hear Rory go, "Yeah, I want to make sure you understood me."
No, not the Loahi, and just drives off.
What?
Hanging out the window.
Rory doesn't speak Spanish. He just knows
I
El
know.
Diablo.
Kyle's making great time back to the bar.
Yep.
As you come within view of the bar,
Uh-huh.
it looks fine.
Okay.
What about the mall?
The mall is also not on fire.
What's on fire?
Oh, okay. Jason, this is how well you trained my brain, because I first thought you said the mall is also on fire.
No, it's also not on fire.
I'm like, wait, what?
Everything looks fine as you pull in.
Ada would have been, or not Ada, Emma would have been trying to contact any of the 3 and say, we're returning to the, we're heading back from our meeting, where can we meet you?
They are up. Kind of the northern part of the domain. On the Westmead Drive, they give you a whoever you contact with any of the 3, give you the location up there. You know, street address.
Yeah, Kyle, just seeing things look fine. Slows, checks phones, scrolls through the cameras inside the bar to make sure things are fine.
Emma just gives the address.
Are they? Cameras?
Oh yes. Nothing. Nobody's been in or out since you've been in and out.
Keeps driving to that location then.
Do you have your dog with you, or did you leave him somewhere?
He has the dog.
Okay.
Dog's either in the bed of the truck with some of them or in the back seat. One of the 2.
As you pull up to the house and get out, what's the dog's name?
Shiloh.
Shiloh seems tense. He's sniffing the air a lot. Does anyone have enhanced senses going?
I have
Heightened senses.
Unseen.
Heightened senses.
I have sense the unseen.
I have none of that.
Okay. Yeah, I caught that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Just in case a fight breaks out, he'll be able to shrug off superficial damage.
Emma's already going shit, walking towards the door.
There. From within the...
Emma and the dog both start. You're pretty sure it's coming from back behind the house. The dog's like running around at the side gate.
She'll adjust and follow the dog.
Yeah, Kyle's following the dog.
He gets to the gate and he's barking.
Do we recognize this house at all?
Undoubtedly, you've driven past it before. Y'all, any of you that have patrolled the domain have walked past here before.
Shiloh, heal.
He quiets down.
Quite enough that she figures probably, other vampires could hear. Ada, Kincaid, Miles.
You hear Ada's, oh yes, we're all back here.
Just pushes open the gate at that point.
They're standing around a charred body.
Dead.
Oh, definitely.
Hard body, so. Oh, but not on fire anymore.
No, not anymore.
Someone we knew.
All right, hang on. CSI.
5 minutes.
Egidio pulls gloves out of his coat.
Do y'all know who this might have been, or just -1 from the census in total?
Ada looks at you. It's clearly kindred. I'm not sure who. Oh, I just finished counting everybody. I have to go get through and count everybody. See who's missing tomorrow.
Appreciate your hard work.
Are they still hot?
Yes, very.
Okay. You see Egidio pull out like tongs.
Did you just carry around? Emma just shaking her head.
Just very lightly moves it to check. Like he's trying to see if he can recognize any features on this individual.
Sure they are, I guess.
You can tell where he kind of had a nose. Not so much now, though.
I'm also looking. I know. So it's charred completely. So like the clothing is ashed away, or is it still there?
Melted probably to the bone.
Pretty well burned away.
Okay. And then so then he's looking for some kind of, source of the fire.
Accelerant.
That's the word.
All right, give me a roll.
I will.
Kyle would also be looking for that, because that'd be the first thing on his mind too.
All right, where are my decks up here?
Emma looking at
Anything
medicine.
you like me to roll?
Any of you that are just like looking around, give me a wits awareness to see what you find kind of in the backyard area.
Okay.
I'm doing my CSI roll.
on the roll, but she's also going to ask, we're sure there's no one in the house. You've cleared that, I'm assuming?
Kincaid nods, yeah. The back door was unlocked, or the sliding door was unlocked when we got here. I've already searched the house. Place looked barely lived in.
She's going to step inside and see if there's any mail or anything like that.
Okay.
I got
What's awareness?
I got 4 successes on my medicine.
You are not finding signs of an accelerant.
Interesting.
Of course, kindred burn a little different than normal people do, but
Sure.
Does this wits awareness roll involve scent?
It could. Go ahead and include that.
Only 1 success.
I don't see an accelerant.
Same. One success. One success.
I don't see an accelerant. Yeah, go ahead.
Fortunately, this isn't a contest against anybody, because look who showed up again.
Oh, nice.
So no accelerant, but so that leads me to believe, and I think Egidio's saying this out loud. No accelerant, so it's had to have been something that sets a kindred on fire. What do we have any ideas of something that just sets them on fire by looking at it, like sunlight?
Did you find him here, like in this spot?
Yes, and you can see where some of the grass is burned around him as well.
Emma from inside, still with heightened senses. Tremere?
Ada responds, "Oh yes, certain Tremere could do it. Not all of us can throw fire, but some of us can."
High-powered ask of a Tremere.
All of us?
Does Emma say that?
No. Just, to myself I said that.
Oh, okay.
Because she'd never revealed...
Actually, Kyle would go, us?
Yes, Tremere.
Well, now I know.
What, did you assume I was Ventrue because I hung out with a Ventrue?
No. I
That
didn't
is
know
kinda
who you
fucked
were.
up.
Now I know.
But anyway, yes. Some of the Ventrue could do this with blood sorcery. Or, I mean, some of the Tremere could do this with blood sorcery. It's not my specialty, but... what was that, Mr. Lou?
Enchanted armaments, blood curses. It's happened twice with the what are they called now? I am blanking on it. They used to be called Assamites.
The Banu
Banu
Hakim?
Hakim. It's happened twice now with Banu Hakim.
They do more of a poison sort of thing.
A poison that sets someone on fire, maybe?
She looks at you. Are you aware of how poisons work?
This person was on fire and had no accelerant, so I think science is out the window here.
The part that concerns me is how localized the fire damage is.
Yes.
It's just one spot that was singed.
So whoever this is
It
quite
hasn't-
powerful.
It hasn't continued to burn. It was localized.
Like an internal fire, maybe.
Let's see. Kyle got 1 success. Iola got 1 success.
I got 3 searching inside.
Inside. I'll get to inside in a second. Walter, did you roll a wits awareness?
I don't believe I did, but please hold.
If you'd like to while you're in the back, go ahead.
I didn't think about that because I haven't done this all game. Would you allow me to retroactively use a willpower to reroll 3 of those dice?
Sure. I mean, we're in the same scene. Nothing else has really happened yet. Go ahead.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Ooh. Walter's got 3 successes. That's good.
I mean, to be
Oh.
fair, I've only got like maybe 4 dice to actually play with.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I added a second 10, so that makes it 4.
Nice.
So you're talking about, you're talking about how just this one spot. And then you notice about the same time the Walter kind of sticks a foot out and, squishes a little bit. And you realize, you got a little area of burned grass. And the area around there is wet. You look over and the garden hose is like pulled out and laying in the yard.
Was he on fire? Oh. Then he must have run out of the house, perhaps? While on fire?
The problem with
Spontaneous
that,
combustion?
my friend, is the simple fact of which, again, the fire hose is here and the ground is damp as if it has been sprayed with water.
Kyle
Some-
doing...
Go ahead.
Say Kyle doing Kyle things, he will get down and he will sniff at the grass to see if it's just like water or smells like
Gasoline.
gasoline or anything like that.
Yeah, the only thing only smell that is out of place in this yard is the burn flesh and the whatever, material from the clothing.
Okay.
Yeah, you're pretty sure that's just tap water. Mostly soaked in now, but the ground's still a little muddy.
Someone tried to put him out.
And then ran off.
I mean, to be fair, would you stick around when a body just spontaneously combust?
From the distance. Rorschach!
Oh, yeah. That is a thing.
But enough to spray him down with water?
Well, it means that they at least want to try.
They
to
might-
save them.
Ejida goes to the hose. Is it still going? Or was it turned off?
It was turned off.
somebody had the frame of mind to turn it off and then run from Right Trick.
Well, that's also a possibility. Though interesting enough to have enough sanity to at least turn it off before freaking out.
Didn't want to, make the water bill worse.
In the middle of a frenzy, I highly doubt that's the first thing on their mind.
Maybe they were very concerned about money.
It's possible that they made it. Whoever this was made it seem like they were succumbing to Right Trick.
They would have left the water running then.
If they're that smart.
Meanwhile, inside, Emma, you're searching the inside. There's no food in the refrigerator.
Keep your house.
There's a little bit of like paper trash in the trash cans. Well, it doesn't look like the kitchen's used for much of anything. The living room has got a TV. It looks pretty normal. All the furnishings of the house look pretty normal. You do find some mail addressed to an Annabella Berg.
Annabella. Is that in my got?
She'll put that in the pocket as she keeps looking and
Pictures on the wall depict an older woman. At least the more recent photographs. You see some of it, it's like her and some other ladies of about her age on a cruise. Or like at Stone Mountain over in Georgia, little vacation photos, like her and buddies running on vacation.
does the body frame look anything like an old woman burned up in the yard?
No, the person burned up in the yard was definitely male.
Okay.
What did Judy have clocked out with 4 successes?
Yes.
Okay. Male.
Bone structure and all that.
Are there any males in any of the photos, like grandson, anything like that?
In some of the older pictures that you were assuming are probably family pictures when she was a kid, like she's got a dad or a brother or whatever. But none of the pictures that look more recent have anything like that. Maybe one or two of them is like, she's sitting there and there's like a couple sitting next to her or something, but, they're clearly coupled up.
Yeah. Just do a quick glance of any remaining rooms for anywhere that Kindred may sleep during the day. Anyone else that may have lived here, just little stuff like that before heading back out.
Okay. One of the bedrooms has got blackout curtains. Both over the windows, and then the bed itself has got is curtained all around it. Think old timey sick bed sort of thing.
Any phones or technology?
You don't see anything like a smartphone or even a cell phone. There's a cordless phone in the living room, and then an old corded phone in that bedroom. As I was saying, one of the other bedrooms, it's set up kind of like a guest room. The bed's made, doesn't look like it's been touched in forever. But there is a 6-foot box in the closet, stood up in the closet.
With heightened senses, is the box making any kind of weird noises?
It is not. It's just sitting there.
Someone's storing in there.
If she's gonna make a note of that, but she's not opening the 6-foot box in the closet alone. She's had enough fun this evening.
What is she, scared?
Yeah,
Yes.
she's completely a coward. She'll pop back out, be like, There's a 6-foot box in here. Anyone want to help me open the Christmas present?
On my way.
We'll
Uh,
pass Ada the mail. I don't know if they may be related to this person, but somewhere to start, perhaps.
Kincaid and Miles fall in behind you too. I mean, if there's the possibility of a fight,
Emma lets them lead the way. She's like, "Yo, have fun, boys."
Yeah, he'll just... Alright. He'll, like, grab one end and... Like, is it hinged or just box?
It's hinged.
Okay. In which case, he'll... Escher... Wow. I'm tired. He will usher Miles and Kincaid, like, back to where, like, when he opens the lid, like, they're kind of... It's like... lid them to where they're not like right in front of it as it opens.
Gotcha. They're to one side.
Yeah, and then he'll basically just open the lid.
It opens almost silently. Well-oiled hinges. Inside, you find another body.
Are they? I think Egidio would go with because like
Are they
he would have
alive,
heard
or-
body.
Well, we don't know body yet.
Well, you
we just
opened
opened
it.
the box.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Egidio's looking.
It is an old woman. Is Emma in the room?
She would have kept towards the door, but yeah.
It's the old woman from the photographs.
Oh, that's probably Annabelle.
Is
Is she-
Points at one of the
emaciated?
photos on the wall.
Is she
Yeah.
emaciated or just older?
She's old. Gio, you can tell with even just a quick glance, you can tell her neck's broken. Just the way the head's sitting.
That's not good. That's not how necks work.
I guessed that from looking at it. Yes, thank you.
Gotta have that expertise, though.
I have expertise
Second
in breaking
opinion.
necks.
You're the other way.
Yeah. Dude, he was like, "In my medical expertise, this person's neck is broken. What's your expertise?" I'm an expert in breaking necks.
Egidio looks at it and goes, well, the person who was in here then must have been squatting after murdering her?
Why would they keep the body in a closet where they murdered
Trophy?
her?
Oh no, vampires are fucked up.
Actually, Kyle will. Fine. Kyle will remember to breathe. Does the body smell like it's been dead for a while, or if this is a fresh kill?
You don't smell any decomposition.
Oh, she's alive.
Now, as bodies are wont to do, it has soiled itself.
Sure.
Yeah,
And that smells pretty fresh.
yeah, which is telling in and of itself. He'll grab an arm and move it rigor mortis.
No rigor mortis yet.
This is a fresh kill.
Why go to the trouble of putting them in a box in the closet? Like for a snack later, or?
Why go through the bother of hosing down a burning kindred?
There's a lot of stuff not adding up here. Neither body is turning to ash yet, right? Kindred, as I recall, turn to ash as they start perishing.
That depends on
Yeah,
their age.
it depends on a lot of stuff.
Gotcha.
If I remember fresh kindred, they just like very quickly rot. The older you get, like then they like can turn to ash or just turn into bones or something.
It's one of those where I think from supplement to supplement it has varied slightly.
That's fair.
But
Yes, I specifically remember reading it in the V5 book that it depends on age. What happens after final death?
Gotcha.
But
There's definitely Kindred living here, though. She nods to the room behind her. Blackout curtains and blackout curtains around her bed. But no food in the fridge for... And she nods. The older woman. So
Whoever was here took it.
why would a kindred go to the trouble of removing food from a fridge they're not going to use anyways?
Who said it was a kindred?
I guess. Wait, broken neck. Who is more likely to do a brute force thing? Gangrel, I guess.
I have the strength for it, but I'm more of an outlier.
Yeah, but that's the thing. They're not gonna. They would just feed on them and call it a day.
So would a Bruja. So would a Nos.
Right. My point is that it's probably not like I think that kind of rolls out a kindred.
Yeah.
So what else goes bump in the night?
I really don't want to think about that.
I do.
Well, considering our lovely friend from the Wallace Barony was yelling about the devil.
Okay, so a devil.
Are there?
Is anything coming to mind when now that I'm seeing somebody on fire?
Also, it is 9:30, FYI.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anything coming to mind when I think of like somebody spontaneously combusting of any kindred other outside of Tremere, like going more occult. I mean.
Let's see. There's of course rumors of the Bali.
Yeah.
Rumors of like independent demons.
Mm-hmm.
Lupine are a thing, though that doesn't really tie into the fire.
Yep.
That a GDO would know of.
Yeah. Let's see. Lupine, Bali. Could be an actual demon, I guess.
Ada has walked in at this point. They are a thing.
Oh, I know. But probably not something we're going to find out tonight. Or at least not right now.
Well, do you want us to clean up the body out back? It's
Yes, please. And
I'm not sure how much of it's going to be left by morning anyway, but
sure. Just better safe than sorry. Put it somewhere where it won't be noticed.
Probably should also get rid of this body too.
I'll dispose of this one. It's fresh enough that I can take care of it.
Ada's like,
See me do it.
hands on, Baron.
I like to know what goes on in my barony. And Kyle, if you would, please take me to and I'll show you a location. You would be so kind as to take me to it.
He just closes the box again.
Thank you. He kind of leans the box over.
Okay. About that time, you hear several cars pull up very quickly to the front. Bunch of car doors opening up.
Anything unloading?
If you go glance through the window, you see blue lights.
Police.
Question: would Emma have heard any of that with her heightened senses?
You'd have heard some cars speeding down the road, but that's not super unusual. It was them coming to a quick stop. You definitely hear that it's police officers talking. Apparently, they had gotten a call.
We need to go now, and we need to go quickly. They're here.
Kincaid's like, did y'all park out front?
No. A little further down.
Standard operating procedure.
Yeah. Oh, who's for hopping a fence? Emma's already sneaking towards the door.
Hopping a fence. I will activate my shadow shit.
Yes, we can't all be fancy.
Ada's like, do I look like somebody that can hop a fence?
Maybe Kincaid or Miles can throw you?
Can you speak with police then? And you know what I mean when I say speak.
Yeah, one at a time. How many of them are there?
only need to talk to their leader.
And while y'all are discussing this, you hear something hit the front door.
Like a police ramp?
Or maybe a shoulder at this point. They may not have fetched the ram out yet.
Let's go.
Yeah, Kyle's just gonna.
That's an interesting noise for Kyle to make.
Yeah.
On brand for a gangrel.
Shiloh is starting to growl. Emma, with your heightened senses, you hear people moving in the backyard.
They're in the back. We need to make a decision now. Side windows.
Oh crap! Is that a body?
Let's go.
He'll. Fuck.
And this is where we're at.
Okay.
I was waiting for it. I was like, you're getting there, Jason. You're getting there.
And build up the
Wait,
build
took too long.
build it up, and insane.
Oh, though I guess I do need to know if Iola and Walter had gone inside or not.
At this point, probably not, because if they were outside, they could have ran like and hid.
Okay.
I mean, if Walter would have heard anything of car doors shutting or whatnot, oh no, that obfuscate would have been bam.
All right, so we'll wrap here for now. Hope y'all had fun. I enjoyed it. Anybody that came by and watched, hopefully you could keep up with it with all the starting and stopping Twitch was doing. But hopefully you come back next week. Hopefully anybody that comes by and listens had fun and will join us next time. If you're looking for more games, there are more games on Direbear. Check the schedule below. I forget exactly who's running and not running right at the moment.
A lot of them are bi-weekly too.
And we will see y'all next time. Again, I was your storyteller for the evening, Jason, and with me was Duba as Walter, Eric as Kyle, Sarah as Emma, Jeremy as a GDO, and Rappy as Iola. And we will see y'all next time.